I found a secret test that literally gets inside your mind and tells you if you are prejudiced or not. Winnie the Pooh almost got me killed twice. What the heck do these two things have in common? What's going on, guys? Today we're going to find out if I, Eric Joseph, have a splash of any of the isms. We're going to be talking about bias, how that translates to real life, and I'm going to share a story about how Winnie the Pooh took me to the hood and almost got me killed. Not one time, but 2 times. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get it. Okay, so before we take the test, I'm going to do a quick definition of what implicit bias is. So we're going to go ahead and Google that joint because I was homeschooled. And matter of fact, I'm going to give it a shot off the dome. All right, so basically implicit bias, that's when you feel some type of way about somebody or something, but maybe you swear you don't. Implicit biases are unconscious attitudes and stereotypes that can manifest in the criminal justice system, workplace, school setting, and in the healthcare system. Okay, so it's basically stereotypes and attitudes that you have that maybe you're not quite aware of or don't think that they affect you, but really they do. That's basically what I said. I mean, come on now. Okay, so let's take the test. I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you. All right, I'm feeling some type of way because everybody has bias. Like, even if you don't think you do, you guaranteed do. That's just a part of life. So I'm feeling kind of nervous because I'm about to expose my biases to the world. Second feeling is I'm pretty excited to be aware of my biases so that I can improve on them and then make sure that I'm not being influenced by them. All right, so they got all kinds of options on here. Arab, Muslim, age, religion, skin tone, weight. All right, let's do skin tone. Okay, skin tone, implicit association or bias test. Okay, so this test often reveals an automatic preference for light skin relative to dark skin. Okay, so it's to find out if you have subconscious preferences for various skin tones. Of all the tests, I actually took this one a while ago, and it said I had some biases, and I was shocked. So that helped me to see, okay, even if you have really close relatives or people you love that would fall into that category, then it could still influence you. And since I took it last time, I've really been mindful of it. Let's see if I grew. All right, your response suggests no automatic preference between dark-skinned people and light-skinned people. Wow, okay. Man, that's actually really encouraging because, like I said, the first time I took this test, I was shocked to find out that, I have a bias. As you can see, I did learn, I did grow, I did overcome this bias, and I don't think I overcame it in a permanent way, but I overcame it in a way that, I can now be aware of it and I can adjust accordingly. So that was really encouraging, honestly. Like, I was expecting to get the same result. Not because that's where my mind's at, but just because I thought that you can't really change your subconscious like that, especially after a relatively short period, about 4 or 5 years. But it turns out, if you work at it, you can, and you can grow. So I'm proud of myself. All right, I'm going to take one more test, but before we do, I have a story and I need you guys' help to let me know if you think this is an example of my implicit bias or not. So Winnie the Pooh almost got me killed 2 times. I used to live in a really dangerous neighborhood and I had to Uber even deeper into the hood. Usually it would be people who lived locally who would pick me up, so they knew how to navigate this area. This time, guarantee this person was not local. How do I know? He pulls up like,
"Hello, good sir. Your Uber is here."
Dude looked and sounded just like Winnie the Pooh, and I am pretty sure he was not wearing any pants. So I'm already knowing this is going to be a wild ride. But then I made the grave mistake of doing an Uber pool, which is basically like a bus where you have to pick people up along the way. So we get to the first stop and there are 20 dudes posted on the corner right by the house that we have to go to. Anyone who knows this area would have just kept on driving. But Winnie's in the front like,
"Oh, bother. I guess I will just go through these boys."
So we're literally weaving through this group of people who are not budging. And right when we get to the middle, they start banging on the door. "Hey, yo," so they're surrounding the car, just banging and yelling. And I'm in the back freaking out. But for some reason, Winnie's just in the front. And right when I'm thinking, oh, it's a wrap for us, I can finally understand what they're yelling. Wrong way. You're going the wrong way down a one way. But the crazy thing is, Winnie ain't hear him and he's starting to act weird. So I'm like, hey, bro, they're saying we're going the wrong way down a one way. And once Winnie hears this, he kind of breaks out of a trance and turns and says to me,
Oh, good thing you told me. I was just about to reach in my waist and up the pole on them.
first of all, sir, how do you know what that means? And then I ask him, you really got a gun on you? He reaches in his pocket and pulls out, I swear it was like a 1800s revolver or a dang musket or something, points it at me and says,
You just never know when you might need this. You know what I mean?
After this whole interaction, we finally pick up the second dude who's riding the Uber, and I have not taken an Uber pool ever since. But I don't know, y'all, was this a normal reaction, or is this an example of maybe me and the Uber driver having some sort of implicit bias? Was it my bias to assume that Winnie the Pooh didn't have it on him? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, y'all. All right, we're going to take one more, and I'm actually kind of afraid to take this one. Sexuality implicit association test. Okay, this one reveals an automatic preference for straight relative to gay people. So I'm a Christian, and something I've noticed is that for whatever reason, some churches stigmatize gay people. And because there's been such a negative relationship between some Christian communities and the LGBTQ plus community, sadly, I do think that I've taken on some of those subconscious implicit biases. So this is an area of my life that admittedly I am really ashamed of, and I hope to learn and grow and overcome this potential implicit bias. And I hope that this test is one of the many steps in the right direction. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, you have completed the study. During the implicit association test, your responses suggest a slight automatic preference for straight people over gay people. I guess I'm happy that it's not as high as I thought, but that's not really anything to be proud of, that I have a slight preference. So I am definitely going to take this very seriously, and I'm going to take it as, man, there's a group or a population of people that I have viewed as less than, if we're just going to be frank. And some of you may be thinking that, you know, at least it's just slight. But in reality, I take that very, very seriously. And I'm actually going to go through every single one of these tests and determine, okay, where do I have biases, even if it is quote unquote slight? Because slight is not slight, okay? Slight gets people killed. Slight gets people thrown in jail for things that they did not do. Slight is how racist laws are set up, how homophobic laws are set up, right? Slight gets old people beat up for just walking down the street doing absolutely nothing. Okay? That's what slight preferences get you. So I'm not taking this lightly. I'm taking this very seriously. That's all I have for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I hope you take the test with me so we could recognize our subconscious biases, grow, and leave here better human beings.